All right. You ready? Ready. You ready? Ready. Oh my gosh. You can't say you're ready, then say.
Yeah,
Jeez, dude. Welcome back to Beyond the Diamond Spring Training Edition, episode 25.
Yeah.
25.
One of them.
World Baseball Classic, final edition, final recap episode. Wow.
I mean, Ron Howard's going to make a movie about it one day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Loss of words. I mean,
it was just fantastic. It's just a historical moment. Do we have the numbers on how many people watched yet? Or is
I don't know. Josh,
what if that's come out yet? How many people watched that game?
I bet it's close to 100 million.
Yeah. I bet you it's
close to 100 million.
That's an insane number.
Nah, I bet say
100 million.
Dude, the Japan and Korea game had like 70 million people watching.
I bet you it's like 87 million.
I'll go 105.
105
over under.
You just said his number was nuts.
Yeah, I know, but you kind of talked me into it.
Yeah, man.
Because the United States was watching too.
It's in the 90s, I think. It's in the 90s, I bet.
Yeah. Hell of a game. Japan beats the United States 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2.
USA just couldn't string anything together. I think they had 10 hits, 9-10 hits. It just
two
bombs. Japan's
they have
pitching
the tray bomb. Trey's seeing a beach ball right now.
Yeah,
it could be Astros Phillies rematch because this Phillies lineup's pretty potent with the healthy Bryce now.
I had some Phillies fans come up to us yesterday at the game and say the same exact thing. He was like, "We're gonna see y'all again in October, 100%." And I said, "Maybe." I know we'll be there.
Ooh, sassy, dude.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You gave him a little toot?
I did.
You gave
him a little toot?
You're not gonna come up to me. I mean, we beat him, so it's like I was nice, but
we got a number. We have a number.
Is he coming in?
Oh, test. Okay, so the tweet that Fox Sports MLB Twitter account tweeted, the little banner, the little graphic design of Japan champions. As of, I think, like last night or this morning.
Yeah.
Guess how many likes?
No, this is in the
first
first
hour.
Retweets and likes. This screenshot is only an hour after it was posted.
56,000.
54.3K retweets.
Wow.
158,000 likes.
And they compare it to whenever they announced that the tweet that the Astros won the World Series.
Well, you're comparing a country to a city.
Exactly, but it just compares World Series viewership to.
Yeah, but that's how you know that this last WBC game probably did insane numbers.
Yeah, and legitimately, and we'll dive into the game, the atmosphere, and all that. But when we walked out after the game, there was literally like grown men and grown women like crying.
Yeah.
Like, it meant so much to the Japanese team and the people there, their fans, like. Insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane.
There was this moment, I'm assuming it was some Japanese news outlet that was out with a camera and a light and some, news lady holding a microphone. A Japanese man approached her kind of aggressively, but kind of in a passionate way, so it was okay. Took the mic from her and got in front of the camera and was crying.
Oh, he wasn't the news guy?
No, he went up and grabbed it and he just
I thought he was the news guy.
No. He was just wearing regular clothes. He was walking with us behind us, and he grabbed the mic and just started talking, and she let him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and he was talking about the game, I'm assuming, and how much it meant to him. And he was crying.
Wow.
So, I mean, that firsthand experience, man, this game meant a lot to a lot of people.
Well, from Jump Street, we got there 4 hours before. We spent the whole afternoon in Miami.
Yeah.
Had a nice lunch, went down to the field, interviewed some people, but it was packed. I mean, and earlier in the trip, we went to the Dominican Republic game, and that vibe was totally different than the vibe.
Really different
vibe.
It was just night and day.
It was. I mean, it's just different cultures, obviously, and the way the Dominicans showed out, they just were a blast. And not that Team USA and Japan fans weren't fun, but the way I described it, the Dominican and even the Nicaragua fans, they were partying, and the atmosphere kind of seemed similar. Obviously, there was way more people at the final, but at the Dominican game, it just seemed as loud because everyone was just
and it was
partying and having a great time. And it was like a half. It was at noon, and honestly, it was like half of the attendance as the final.
Oh,
but it was just as loud. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah. Easily, and I think, and I told Josh as we were walking, I was like, yesterday's atmosphere literally felt like a playoff World Series atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where the earlier game that we went to felt like a World Cup carnival. Like the energy was just palpable. Where this one, you just had like, it may have been just the anticipation of a championship game where both sides were just like anxious and waiting to go. But we got into a suite.
We did.
That was really, really cool.
We did get into a suite.
A lot of Philly fans.
A lot of Philly fans.
A lot of Philly fans in the suite.
Yeah, which is cool.
Some Houston people, some people that were from Houston too, which was wild.
Yeah, they saw your hat.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're from Houston too. So what are the odds?
Saw the game. The entrance was insane. Both teams coming in.
Oh, it was so
flag
cool.
on their back.
Trout
leading
Ohtani.
Team USA, Ohtani just with their flags and they waving at each other.
I mean,
so
this did feel like like in a Rocky movie or in Creed, like that moment when they get up and shit, and everyone in the crowd is they just can't believe it, and it's showing the crowd shots. When it was showing that's when you felt like you were in a movie. This was a movie on the field. I'm not saying it was scripted, but it fucking felt like it. It felt like a dramatic movie, like that was just being directed in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and every single back and forth, you had Trey Turner, who's just seeing a beach ball, gets USA out in front with another home run. I think it's 5th of the tournament.
Yeah.
Then you have Japan answer right back with 2.
Quick, yeah.
And then it just kind of settled in, and every pitcher that came in for Japan was nasty.
Yeah,
98 to 100 with a
stuff.
Splitter that was just tumbling at 90.
Yeah, they had the stuff.
It's not like USA wasn't getting hits though. That's the only thing about it. Like they were were getting hits. They were putting together some at bats, but Japan was just dominant in the fact where like we would try to get something going, and they would shut it down immediately.
Yeah, I think the big thing was we were stringing hits, but it was with 2 outs.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're relying on so much more behind you when you were playing with 1 out to give, and so you'd seed first and second, and then a pop out or a strikeout, whatever it was, so they get out. Where Japan was just like, we're gonna live and die by the long ball. Exactly. We're gonna pitch the hell. We're gonna play some really good defense. Yeah. And then as the game started settling in a little bit, they sent Darvish out to the bullpen first. Yeah. And this was around the 5th inning, 6th inning. Yeah. And then, I'll say it.
Well, didn't just start to cut you off in that NLCS game 1 last year when Schwarbs hit that like 5,000 foot tank. Was it against Darvish in that game?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, I don't know if it might have been, but
was it game 1?
It was game 1. It was
might have been Joe.
Okay. Because when Darvish came out, you looked at me and you went, we could do some damage here.
Well, the theory to me was all these pitchers that were carving up this USA lineup that just put up 50 billion runs against Cuba 2 nights before. Yeah. I don't think they've never seen these guys, and so you're seeing 100, and then you were seeing this 92 mile per hour splitter that was just moving. Yeah. My theory was when they brought in Ohtani, that United States, you're familiar with it. You've seen guys easily. And I get the other side where you're going to throw your major league guys, right? You're gonna throw your major league guys to close it out, and obviously it worked. Yeah. But Schwarber taking you deep on it was like a 10 pitch at bat. He hit like 10 foul balls that were just.
He was on it.
Yeah,
he was
on it.
I think the whole stadium knew
he was
it was a home run.
Chipping away at it. Yeah, he was chipping away at it.
And that just set up for the 9th inning, which was just literally, like you said, a Ron Howard movie.
Yeah.
I mean, wild. Josh had the long lens, and he was getting shots of the bullpen, and you said, Shohei's in the pen, and he was just sitting there, and we were getting shots, and we were zooming in, and we were seeing Shohei there, just sitting there, and we are like, he's not warming, he's definitely coming in, right? Like, how could you not? How can you not make him come in? And then we realized, Trout's due up in the 9th.
Yeah,
he's definitely coming in.
The 3rd batter in the 9th.
He's definitely fucking coming in.
Ridiculous.
And like at that rate, it was like, this is a script. This is a simulation.
Yeah,
this is a script.
Yeah.
This is a script.
100% we live in a simulation.
Yeah, it's insane.
Because there's no better moment than that. And I think the other argument too is you guys have been very vocal on this trip about being a pro pitch clock.
Yeah.
As a person who films the games, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. But also we talked about this at the game last night. I like it, but also I'm happy the Baseball Classic didn't implement that, and I don't know if they ever will. I don't really know if that's going to be a thing, but you're right though, because having the moments and like you were talking about it last night, letting it breathe, like moments like that.
it's
like,
the big moments.
Moments like that, Shohei and Trout at bat, you have to let that.
You have to.
I was, looking at it on my camera and just seeing Shohei, and I just panned to Trout, and they're just, you can tell there's no one else in the stadium but
it was
them.
just them.
Yeah,
It was just them.
It was so.
It was a scene from Creed.
It was a scene from Creed.
Was.
It was a scene from Creed.
No one in the stands, just them.
Yeah,
right there. And I mean, the pitches that Trout saw were, Trout or Ohtani's fearless.
Oh yeah,
Ohtani's fearless.
First, when he leaves the bullpen, he walked from the bullpen all the way to the pitcher's mound.
Uh-huh.
Didn't jog, not a little half jog, just walked.
Yeah,
and it was just like it was like watching. It was like watching the Beatles.
Pretty funny because I started to notice people realizing that Ohtani is coming out.
Yeah.
Like they didn't get the the tweets and shit.
Yeah.
They just like looked up and see Ohtani walking out.
You could
and
hear
they're
the
like,
murmur.
yeah,
like,
the murmurs,
yeah.
and then everyone just starts clapping.
Yeah.
Or even all the USA fans are like, holy shit!
Well,
holy
that's the
fucking
thing
shit.
about Ohtani is there was no everyone in that building. I don't care if you're rooting for Japan or USA. Everyone was there to see Shohei. Everyone
100%.
was there to see the best baseball
It was
player in the
adamant
world.
since 4 hours before the game even started. With every
exactly.
jersey you saw was Ohtani.
It's all Ohtani. Even as BP, everyone is filming, locked in.
Yeah.
Can we circle back to the BP session before we touch on the ninth?
Was nuking him. He was nuking.
He hit some baseballs
He was hitting tanks, dude.
that I haven't seen probably since Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
He hit
legitimately haven't seen
the scoreboard off of Lone Depot.
Yeah.
Fucking, he hit it, just watched it, and everyone watched it, and everyone followed it, and it hit the scoreboard, and everyone fucking clapped
He got a standing ovation
for doing
after
BP.
his BP.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Like
and his
a
walkout
standing
song.
ovation.
His walkout song is The Greatest Showman. He knows what
he knows.
he's doing.
He knows he's the
He
shit.
knows what he is.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
The way watching him hit in BP, you'll really see it in BP because in game it's a little harder. It's just faster pace, but you just see the ball. It just doesn't bounce off the bat. It gets pushed off. He takes the ball. It's on his bat just longer than anybody. You see it get pushed off. It's
the bat and the ball work together.
They worked so
they work together.
Art.
Yeah, it's poetry in
ridiculous.
motion, man.
So that just kind of led like the vibes to start the game. But as a ninth, and like we said, it's like the scene from Creed. It's just those two guys in the arena.
Yeah.
That was everything that baseball ever wanted. Like,
Mhm.
and as a baseball fan, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the jokes and memes are great on the internet of like arguably the two greatest players of all time, and they have to go back to the Angels next week to be third in the AL in the AOS.
But that goes to show you that's probably the greatest, most important at bat in baseball history, right there.
Yeah, we witnessed it
in terms of what it means to the world or all the countries involved in the WBC and just anybody who is an Ohtani fan globally or even a Trout fan.
Yeah.
That is like the craziest, most important at bat in the history of baseball, of the game.
Yeah, and I think it probably put a fire under players' asses that didn't play.
Has to.
This World Baseball Classic.
Has to. Because
you, as a competitor, you want to be in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be Ohtani. You want to be Trout. So
yeah,
I think that was great for baseball.
You want to be Trey Turner? You know that you like all these guys like. I don't know. I want to touch on that a little bit because I don't know how this there's a lot of players who I don't know if they just didn't get invited, but there's a lot of really great baseball players that would have been eligible to play for Team USA and all over the world. I don't know if they have that problem as much anywhere else because I feel like that's if you for these other countries, these other teams, those players, if they have the opportunity, they're going to take it. But like our pitching, there's a lot of pitchers that could have pitched for Team USA that I hope are watching. And we're like, oh, I got to fucking do this next time.
It makes sense too, because you look at the exposure that you would get.
You're a superstar.
You look at like Trey Turner became Trey Turner is now like maybe public enemy number one in Cuba, but they know about him. Like the exposure is crazy now.
No, yeah, 100%.
It's like you see all the numbers that these games are doing, and it's like, why wouldn't you want to get baseball. Everyone says like, oh, baseball's dying. It's not, but baseball is like, people know LeBron. People know Tom Brady and shit. People, not a lot of people like don't really know about like Mike Trout and shit like that, but they will. This is how you get known.
It is weird that baseball's like that because Mike Trout is a guy who is the LeBron, is the Tom Brady.
Ohtani's the guy
is
now.
the LeBron. People know him, but that's also just like an international platform that he's had for a long time.
Think about Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Think about Aaron Judge in this tournament, in this entire World Baseball Classic.
Aaron not playing in this?
It's like Aaron Judge would be known all around the world.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both of player and club. But I think what we could take from this is that this is going to put enough pressure on the players to play next time. And,
absolutely.
And if I'm Team USA, and this is just free advice, this is how you fucking garner it, and this is how you market it. Redemption team. Redeem team. You just take that, and you're like, we're going for it, and you just put a call sign out there, and you just challenge all your top players to play.
Yeah, and you get these big dogs. You get C, like guys like Dylan Cease could be out. Like, all these like.
The next ace for Team USA is going to be Hunter Brown. The next ace for Team USA in 2026 is going to be Hunter Brown.
Young Hunter Brown out there.
Yeah, Hunter Brown in a USA jersey. Let's do it.
Sick,
but yeah, it was a hell of a game, hell of a night.
Fun.
Check it off the sports bucket list for sure.
Yeah,
I could not believe what I was watching. I mean, like you said, it didn't feel like a sports moment. Like, it felt like just like an important moment in history. It felt like a historical moment.
Yeah.
And all sports are pretty like technically history, but that felt historical.
It's
it was a treat to watch.
You tell your kids and your grandkids about.
Yeah.
That you were there.
Yeah.
We also got these cool little.
We did. I wanted to talk about these.
Yeah, it's like Disney on Ice.
Can
Taylor Swift actually had these first.
Did she really?
Yeah. She was at one of these concerts.
That needs to be a thing everywhere. Like, I want those in Minute Maid.
So they handed these out pregame to everyone, and they're just synchronized color schemes for every half inning, every player's walk up too, right?
Yeah, go along with like the walk ups and like the songs they would play in between innings.
Yeah, home runs, big moments. Yeah, everything was just.
Yeah.
And it was sometimes when it was a Japan's player's walk up song, it was blinking red and white. When it was a USA player, it was blinking red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So. And one thing it was also amazing, like the opening ceremonies for the game. Everyone had these. They turned the lights off. They're playing the music. The guys are coming out with the flags, and you just look across the sea of. Because I'm telling, I don't. There wasn't an empty seat. I mean, if the seat was empty, they were getting up to get a hot dog. It was like that. Everyone, the place was packed.
Yeah.
And you just see the sea of people and all these blinking, and everyone's just clap. It was a vibe. It looks so cool.
It was a vibe.
We need that.
Playoffs.
Shout out T Swizzle.
Hey, playoffs.
Yeah.
Minute Maid.
I forgot what concert it was. Maybe the Red Tour.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Red?
She had them.
Oh, she had Red Tour.
I was at that concert.
She's on tour right now, huh?
She's on tour right now.
Oh,
yeah. You were at the Red Tour.
Yeah.
How was
Shout out
that?
T Swift.
Yeah,
Good. She's a showman.
She's a talented person. She's a hell of a talent.
Woman. She's a showwoman.
I think
Show person.
Showperson.
I think talent, hell of talent.
I'd love to get tickets. Taylor, I don't know, maybe hook it up a little bit. Maybe some BTV
Ohtani. Taylor.
No,
honestly, yeah, you're not. Maybe she should be Captain America because maybe would have won.
Yeah.
No, shout out to our sponsors. Showtime's Catching Lightning. Obviously, we talked about it a lot already.
Yeah.
One of the biggest heists ever, and I can't wait to see it.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
I hopefully we get a screener here soon, so we dive a little bit more. But
yeah.
96 million. 96.
I mean.
UFC star steals $96 million.
You know what? If I have 96 million, I'm buying Shohei Ohtani's contract and just be a Houston Astro.
I would
not enough.
I would
not even close to it.
I would drag my.
You realize that? You realize you have to
do? Actually, I'm gonna have to do 4 heists.
No, you're gonna have to do that heist
10
5
heists.
times before you're able to afford Shohei.
Maybe not, dude. He might get 600 million.
That's what. Maybe you got to do it 6 times.
I'm gonna do a heist 6 times.
Shohei. You hear us?
Jim,
look,
Crane, call us.
Catching Lightning.
Look, I want to do a heist, and if I'm doing a heist, I'm gonna have some insurance to protect myself.
Of course.
Yeah.
And, TexIns
insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tap in below, give them a shout. Home, auto, heist, auto insurance, heist insurance.
Yeah.
Producer Josh is pacing. So
that's
it for this episode.
Well, before we Joshy, before you cut it off, our entries for the WBC. Mine did not hit. I picked more for.
Prize picks.
Yes,
Yes.
Prize Picks. You know.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
Prize Picks. Use our promo code, and they'll match your deposit.
Yeah.
And
Apollo. Promo code Apollo.
Apollo.
Yeah, we're getting it.
Yeah, we're getting it.
Prize Picks is great though. Please, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing
Tap
it
in.
all
Tap
night,
in.
all day yesterday. You know, we're looking at different.
I lost too. Yeah.
I lost.
I won, but I lost. I lost the pick to win.
I
You know what?
won
We
because I was
lost.
using Pride Picks, but I lost because I lost my entries.
Listen,
So
we
I lost my
we
picks.
lost on Prize Picks, but we won by being able to be at the World Baseball Classic final.
There you go.
One of the
WBC final.
craziest baseball games of all time.
Yeah.
So we're there. Tap in.
Yeah, Apollo. promo code.
And we will see you guys one more episode before spring training ends.
Yeah.
We will be at the ballpark of West Palm Beaches tomorrow. That's Thursday, and then Friday we'll be in Jupiter for the last game before we drive back to Houston.
City of Houston.
And then opening days right then. So,
Yep.
yeah, love you guys.
Love you.
Watch World Baseball Classic or watch Astros now.
Peace.
Watch Astros now.